Sorry for the potential noise in the background. My kids are just playing in the driveway. So welcome back to Humble Acres. My name is Jordan, and I'm not really sure where this video is beginning because it's kind of been, I've changed my mind a couple times during the whole process of making this video. So I don't really know where it's at, but this is kind of the plan right now. So this is the good one that I kind of fixed up a while back and got running and driving, and this is the one I was planning on keeping. It's the only one I had that was good at the time. So I put a lot of money into fixing it up, all new brakes, everything like that. I got new tail lights and everything on it. Pretty much the whole drivetrain is all fixed up and nice. I got the engine running, changed all the fluids and everything. And then I'm sure you guys are aware, I bought $9 grand worth of FJs and parts and a bunch of stuff that was tore apart. And this was part of that lot. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do, and I decided I was just gonna fix this one up and sell it. I did find out this had a bad frame. I do have a good, like, brand new frame, so I could replace the frame, but I'm not gonna do that. So the frame on this one is good, and it's all matching numbers, so I don't have to change the frame out. All the VIN numbers match. This one, the VIN numbers all match on it for now, but you need to replace the frame, and that will make it so it's not going to match. This one, I like the original color. It was originally the Pollux orange, which is very cool. This one was originally red, same color it's on it now, and I hate red. Red's probably my least favorite color on one of these. Well, maybe the yellow. I hate the yellow too, but anyway, I'm pretty much just gonna paint this one the color I want, and I'm gonna just stick with this one and keep this one. These are both the same exact year. I think mine is slightly older, and like by a couple months, than this one is. Probably in the best condition just because it doesn't have any body filler on it yet. Like, I can see all the damage, whereas this one, it has a lot of Bondo on it, and I'm very uncertain of what the damage actually is, and it looks pretty rusty. And there's just a lot of Bondo. And like I noticed on this one, there's supposed to be another set of holes down here for the spare tire holder. As you can see on this one, there's supposed to be holes down here, and they're missing on that one, so somebody just Bondoed over that. And the floors in this one are pretty bad. The back was just kind of patched up, but it's working, so I don't know. My plan is to get rid of this one. So the big plan is I'm going to take all the suspension off of this one and put it on that one. And the axles, I might swap the axle, well, I'll probably keep the rear axle that's on this one and just put it on that one, but the leaf springs are all shot on this one. They cut them when they started tearing it apart, unfortunately, or else it would have been fine. I have a new suspension for it, so I'm going to put that suspension on it. I have an Old Man Emu, whole complete set of suspension, shocks, springs, shackles, everything to put on this. So I'm just gonna put that on there, and this one will be good to go. This one is just gonna get all the new stuff that I already put on this, and I'm just gonna put it all on there. And then this disc brake axle, front disc brake axle, is going on the one I'm keeping, along with the new suspension. I put a new brake master cylinder on this and everything, but that's gonna get switched over to this one. And then I bought a front brake disc master brake cylinder and a dual diaphragm disc brake booster for the one I'm keeping as well. So that's kind of the goal. I'm just going to put all that on there. These tires and rims, I'm probably going to switch over to this, and then these wheels and tires, I'm probably going to put on the one I'm keeping, since it'll be lifted 1 or 2 inches. I'm hoping these will work for the time being anyway. They're a little bigger than I actually want to go. I think these are like a 33 inch, and I really just want like a 31 inch, ideally. That's the plan. That's what this video kind of is. I started tearing the front axle. Well, I did. I ripped the whole front axle and springs off of my rusted parts one, and I was putting that on here, but then I decided, why would I do that when the axle's junk anyway? And I want to try to get as much money for this one as I can. So that's why I figured if I swap the ones over from this one, they're all redone already. All the brakes are good, so should work out pretty good. So that's the plan. Let's get to it. So in the video where I rebuilt this axle, I kind of messed up and I put the wrong gaskets in the wrong places. So yeah, I need to redo that still, but I was thinking once I get it on there, I'll probably take it back apart and redo it because it'll just be easier to work on when it's mounted on the vehicle. I said in the video, I believe, that I got new front hubs and they finally came and they look shiny brand new. Brand new Warren locking hubs. And they're the 30 splines, so they fit on there perfect and they're made for the correct axle. So got all the hardware, and it didn't come with the gasket that goes here, but I already have that, so I got a big discount on that, so that was awesome. Just because it was open box and missing 2 gaskets. So that was a good deal. Alright, so the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to take this front axle off of here. I think I'm actually going to put all these shocks on the other one as well because I have the Old Man Emu shocks that I'll put on here. I think that's pretty much it. I will need this steering linkage off of here, so we'll probably take this one off. I also have new tie rod ends that I can put on here. So I'll be doing that as well. And yeah, that should be good. These springs are actually, I think, newer because you can still see like the stamped in number on them. So they're actually in pretty decent shape. So yeah, let's just get this one off of here and then we'll swap it over to the other one. In my past experience, taking these shackles off of here, they can be a little tricky and stuck in there pretty good. They kind of weld themselves to the bushings because most people don't lubricate them when they put them together. So I don't know if these have ever come off before, but maybe because these springs look so nice, but who knows. Alright, so let's take these nuts off first. I think they are 17. Yeah. Hopefully these shackles are better than the last ones off that other FJ that was in here because they were completely corroded and destroyed. So hopefully these are in somewhat better shape. And hopefully they'll come off a little easier because the other ones were a nightmare to get off. Keep all of this hardware and hopefully we can reuse the bushings. That would be ideal. Yeah. Top is stuck on there good. There we go. Well worn. Now, I want to put, I have some sacrificial nuts that I would screw on the end so I could pound on them. I don't know where my other one went, but this was one of them. Just thread it on there a little bit, or really a lot of it. And then I'll just use this. I think this is actually one of the factory ones, but put that on there and then tap them out and hope they come out. Yep, that's pretty much it. There we go. Actually, I was pressing on it too much. interesting. This one's actually in really decent shape. There's a couple of little rust bumps on there, but we can sand all that down. It actually might be rubber or something too, but these are in way better shape, so we'll reuse these. Get this one off, and then we'll go to the back. All right, we got both of the front shackles out. Yeah, the other one came out just the same as the first one. It was a little tougher, but used the same technique and got it out. So now I think I'm gonna work on the steering linkage and the shocks. So we need to take this off right here for sure, and then we're gonna need to take this bar off because I'll need that for the other one, or for this one, and then the other one doesn't actually have one, so we'll have to get one for that, I think. So we can probably steal that off the other one. And then we gotta get these shocks off, so I'll probably just undo the top and just leave the bottom one on there. That will probably be easiest. We need to take this brake line off here as well. That will need to go on here. And then, yeah, we need to do this shock as well on this side. And then we'll get to the back shackle pin or whatever you want to call it. So I decided just to take this arm off here, right at the spindle or whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna take these cotter pins out here. This one I haven't had apart, so it's probably going to be somewhat difficult, I would suppose. Looks like it hasn't been off in a while, so not usually the best. I'm trying to just wiggle it to get it loose on the inside, but it doesn't always work because they tend to get pretty well seized in there because they're so open to the elements. Ideally, this little loop would be left out a little bit farther, because then you can just get like needle nose pliers right in there and pull them out, but they never seem to be left open like that. Getting it in there a decent amount now, but oh, and there it snapped. That's usually what'll happen when there's seeds in there good. Yep, that's pretty much it. Alright, so then try to pull it from the side. And we got it. Alright, perfect. Got that one out. Now I'm pretty sure that's a 17. So we will put a 17 on there. Sure is. Take that off. Sacrificial nut. Screw it on the top. About there. And then we're going to hammer on the top. Because I do have one of these, and you can wedge that in there. Tends to destroy the ball joint, which I guess in this case we probably could do because we're not going to reuse those, but let's try this method first. That's not working. So we're going to leave that nut on there, and we're going to wedge this right here and hammer away until it pops. Ow. Hit myself right there. That's always good for your wrist. I don't really know what to do at this point, honestly. I guess I could get this wedged in here. That, and then this. There we go. A little combination of both. Alright, let's go do the other side. Shocks are a little easier because you can get to them from the top, and I just replaced these. So they have brand new cotter pins on them already. So just gotta bend those back over and then pull that pin out. Sure, it's just gonna be as easy as that, like so. Set that there, thank you. Now we just gotta take that nut off and shock will come off the top. This way. And I've had this off before too, so not seized on there. Actually almost almost just finger tight. So there, we got our washer, and then the shock should pretty much just come off, but we might just leave it connected for now until we get the rear pins out, because those will be a little bit annoying. I'm gonna get the other nut off the top of the shock tower. Alright, so now we have the fun part of getting these rear ones out, and these are the hardest thing to do. I probably should have started with them because they're very difficult. Alright, so once you get that all cleaned up, those are two 12mm bolts. Well, technically screws, because there's no nuts on the back. So I just have this small impact, the 12mm socket, put that on there, and this took it off the other one, so we'll see what happens here. Yeah, come off pretty easily, not too bad. If you have hand tools, you probably won't have too much trouble getting these out. I've never had one of these seized in there or anything, and the other one I was working on was way rustier, so probably the rustiest one I've ever seen. So once you get those off, there's one nut on the back side that you gotta take off. Take that off, I believe it's also a 17mm. Yeah, it's not very tight, honestly. Same thing happened with the other one that I did. They're not very tight. I also got the brake line off. You can see it here. I just took that off, which I've had that off before, so it was actually pretty easy to do. If you have troubles getting those 10mm brake line fittings out, heat them up real good and take your time, or else you'll just strip them out or break them off. It's never good. So I used a lot of heat when I redid all the ones on here, and I didn't break a single one off, so that's my recommendation. I'll be back once I get this out and I'll tell you what I did. Alright, so for this one, what I ended up doing was getting this ball joint separator thing and wedging it behind here until it popped out. It didn't really pop out, but it slowly wedged its way out of there. So that was the key. And now it's just a matter of being able to pull it the rest of the way out. I think if you get a big enough crowbar in here, you can pretty much just pull it out. Ow. At least that's the hope anyway. It's still very tight in there. There we go. You can see it moving back and forth. I think it's loose. Yep. There you go. They just get really seized in there, and it's very annoying. I'm gonna have to clean this up because I kind of messed all that up, but that's okay. But yeah, they're very difficult to get out, especially if they've been in there for a while. Alright, so I think I got everything loose on here. I did get this pin on this side out. It was stuck in there really good and kind of a pain, but I also disconnected the drive shaft here. It's very simple. I didn't show it, but it's just 4 bolts that are 14mm on both sides. The nut and the bolt are 14mm. So you just take that off and let it kind of dangle there. It'll be fine. The shocks are really the only thing holding it up now, so we'll have to put the jack underneath the differential there and then pop these off of the strut or the shock towers here, and then it should just drop down, and then we will just slide it right over into its spot over here, and it'll be as easy as that, I'm sure. So let's get to it. Let's get this underneath here, support it a little. It's probably gonna fall anyway, but we'll try. That one's off. That one's off. Alright, well, maybe those bushings in the back are holding it up or something. I don't know. bushings in the back are holding, so we're gonna have to wedge those out of there. That one's free, and there we go. It's free. Lower it down all the way. And probably the shocks might be a little bit in the way. Just bend them out as far as possible, and hopefully we can get around the bumper here. There we go. See, so simple. I'll just slide it on over. Grab that stuff, was there? There's already shocks on here. Probably need to take these off first. So I'm gonna get these shocks off and then we'll finish sliding underneath there. All right, let's get this under here. It's actually a little higher. We can just go right underneath. Not easy. There we go, somewhat in place. We're gonna have to go find that other steering linkage, but should be good. Now we just really need to jack it up into place and then put all the stuff that we took off that one back on. I think that's something for tomorrow. All right, so I'm not sure where we left off last time, but I had a little bit of an accident. I actually fractured my tailbone. So I was down in the hen house and I was trying to drag this pallet out. I had it kind of shoved back in the back of the building and I couldn't reach it with my pallet forks on my tractor. So I was pretty much just dragging it along the floor, and I didn't realize how close I had my tractor sitting there with the pallet forks. Pallet forks were kind of up a little high. I learned quite a bit from this. I should always put them on the floor, but I was dragging them and I was tugging really hard on the pallet and I hit my tailbone right on the end of the pallet fork. And I fractured just the very end of my tailbone. So I've been kind of sore the last 2 days now, and I've just kind of been trying to take it easy, but I want to try to get some things done. And that's where my lovely wife comes in. I talked her into helping me.
Yes, I'll be a great help.
Yep. So she is going to be helping me a little bit, hopefully, and we're going to try to get some stuff done with these FJs. What we have to do now is we're just going to be putting this axle on here. Should be pretty easy. I think most of the hard stuff is done. Taking it off was really the hardest part, so putting it on should be a lot easier. Alright, so I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jack this up, and we are going to put these shocks in the mount right here, because that will kind of hold the axle kind of stable, and then we can jack it up with the jack on each side and try to line up the bushings with the mounting brackets here. I'll just start jacking up and we'll see where we get from there.
Okay.
Down there? Is it too high?
Close.
There you go.
Yep.
Push down all the way.
Yep.
Perfect.
On. Okay.
And we have this washer we got to put on here. And then we have this nut put on here. And then down on the floor, there's probably a 17mm socket.
Yep.
Nope.
Nope.
No, there isn't.
Nope. Okay. Nope.
Good enough for now. Alright, let's get the other side. This should stay up here if we let it down now. Alright, I'm just jack that up, do the same thing. Oop, watch out. Just don't get in, like, where your fingers can get pinched or something.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little different because the fender's on there. But this one, you actually will have to fish it in there a little more.
Okay.
But just tell me if I need to stop or move forward or whatever. I think this is the first time I've ever seen you work on a vehicle.
I don't think I've ever worked on a car before. Okay.
You don't have to get super, like, just get it on there, fine. I can tighten it down later. Alright, so now we need to line up the leaf springs. Probably want to do the back first because the front ones just kind of hang there. Okay. So the back ones actually need to slide
in there,
in between that bracket there. Okay. And then we'll put the pin in. Alright, so I'm going to let this down. Okay. And it actually should come your way a little bit, so watch out. It's going to want to center itself. There we go. It should be pretty centered. Yeah. So now I'm thinking if we...
What am I putting in?
I'll show you one second.
This way?
Yes.
Okay.
But we want to put some grease on it because we want to be able to get it out again eventually. Okay. Push it over maybe. There you go. You're fine. Just...
Okay. It was rubbing that seal down. Are you fine? I can push it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that can of grease there.
This one?
Yeah. Open that up. And then just dip your finger in there and then put some on there.
On this portion?
Yep, just all over it. That way, if we ever want to take it back out, it'll come out a lot easier. And it also helps with the flexing of the suspension too. So that's good. Here, I got a towel for you too.
Well, thank you.
So just put that back in there. That way you won't have to touch it again with your clean hands. Yep. That's good for now. And we'll put the lid on that. I probably could have done all that, but it's kind of fun to make you do it. So we need to get the other end to line up with the hole. You could just take that orange mallet. That's a dead blow. So just tap on it and then hopefully it'll line up, but we might have to move it. Yeah, it's stopped there. I think we actually have to let it down some. Try there. No. Any more? Try there.
No.
I think we actually have to go up more. Try there. There it's going. Try that in all the way.
I'm very strong.
Here.
There you go.
Alright, now there's a nut.
Okay.
Goes on the back of that. There's actually
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I think they're actually all the same.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's no... There should be a lock washer. Yeah, this one is a sacrificial one.
Okay.
I use it for hammering on. There actually should be another sacrificial one somewhere, but it'll probably be smashed up. But
okay. Well, those ones look like that.
yeah, those are castle nuts because they look like a castle.
I see that.
Yeah, I think this is the other sacrificial one. It's mushroomed out at the top. So take one of these and a lock washer and put those on there.
Okay. Does this matter which direction it?
No, it's fine. Get that started, and then we could run that down with the impact on this side.
Okay.
Or we could just use the big ratchet, which is probably easier, honestly. Actually, before we tighten it anymore, we should put these 2 screws in.
Okay.
Should just be 2 of these.
Okay.
Do they line up?
That one's not very well.
Is it here? We'll take it back out. Which way does it need to rotate? Counterclockwise?
Yeah.
So hold this end,
okay.
And then you can tap on it to rotate it a direction. Just don't miss and smash your fingers.
Okay. Or
Keep it flat on there.
Okay.
It's probably going to be hard because the body's there. You could hit it from this way as well, from the bottom. There you go. You're moving it. Good? Okay.
We'll try it anyway. Closer.
That should be fine. I think this right here is the correct one.
Okay.
Make sure it's the correct size before you start going. Don't want to strip them out. And then just tap it a little bit, make sure it starts fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, that one's good.
Oh.
Just put it on all the way. That's good. Yeah, keep going. Yep. Should be good.
Like that?
I think so. Alright, now we can finish tightening down the back one. Okay. Which you honestly could use this if you want. Do you not want it? Okay, no. That's fine. Whatever you're comfortable with.
I'm not very good with power tools.
You're not straight on there. There you go.
Got it.
You got it.
Am I doing it right?
Yep.
Okay.
You're doing perfect.
Okay. I'm pretty sure the last time I tried to use a power tool was like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's like, that's a little after we were married.
Yep. I remember I was trying to put some curtain hooks up and failing miserably, so then you did it. And I don't think I've used a power tool since.
It's crazy. It's like you married me for my mechanical ability.
Chop saw.
You did?
Yeah.
When?
When did I do that? I made that wood picture thing. Oh.
What wood picture thing?
We didn't bring it to this house. We left it in. Do your parents have it now?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your parents have it now. I took all those little wood pieces and cut them and stained them all different colors and made like a collage. That would have been...
You didn't bring that?
No.
That's weird.
5 years ago, I think I made that.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. I used a saw.
Chop saw.
Chop saw.
Yeah.
I didn't lose any fingers.
Amazing.
I did great.
All right.
Okay.
Now we gotta do the other side. Same thing.
Okay. And are there screws over there? Or are these my screws?
Those are all the ones that we need. So just grab all the same ones and then we'll just take them over there.
And this. And this.
And the grease.
And the grease.
And a towel. And a ratchet.
And my tools.
And a hammer.
I don't have that many hands.
I know. Isn't that annoying? Alright, we started doing the other side, but we actually got it all put in there. But it wouldn't seat all the way around this because I messed it up when I took it off. So we need to actually file this flat again or round again so it'll actually slide in the slot right. So that's what we're going to do now. Now we get to move to the front ones.
Okay.
So the front ones, we need these and this, and then a nut and a lock washer for each one. Seems like we're missing a lock washer. I'm sure it's somewhere. We'll have to find it. So now we need to put this right through here.
Okay.
So one of these goes through each one of those holes there.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll put the bracket on, and then we'll put the washer and the nut on after that.
Okay, this way?
Yeah.
Do you want me to put grease on it first?
Yes. Yep. Sorry, I forgot about that. Sorry. Good job remembering.
Thank you. I'm learning. I'll be a mechanic in no time.
Yeah, you could be.
Okay.
Alright. So I'm going to jack this up until they kind of line up. Are you going to do the other one?
No,
Or are you wiping your hands off?
Wipe
Okay.
my hand off before I put it in there.
It's fine.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna jack this up until it's close.
Sure.
I'm gonna set up there and see where it's at. So we wanna line that up about right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll push it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, it'll just push right in.
Yes.
Just really easy. You just gotta
real
push it in
simple.
there.
Yep.
I might need to go up a little more. Yeah, just push it in.
Yep. You got it.
You just gotta push it. Just go ahead and push it in there. Whenever you're ready,
Okay.
just go ahead and push it.
Yep.
So just get that hammer. And then I would just tap on the bottom and then the top and the bottom and the top. Just go back and forth. It'll work its way in there. There you go. Do the bottom more. There you go, top. Top more. It's probably good. We should be able to run it on the rest of the way with the nut, I think. Maybe.
Maybe.
So put that bracket on.
Which way?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay. Those shiny parts are that way, so this way somewhere?
Well, I mean, I don't know which side the little notch goes. But yeah, the notch goes out. I know that. This goes out.
Goes this way?
Yeah,
Okay.
so just put that aside. It'll be fine.
Alright.
I'm sure it'll be okay.
I'm sure we're doing it right.
That, here, let me go down. It might spread it out. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna have to hammer it on more.
Okay.
There's not enough thread there.
Okay. I'm gonna knock it off there.
Yep. Careful.
Yeah, I need to hit the...
Perfect. You gotta do the top a lot more. You're good. That should be plenty. I need to go up more.
Oh, I probably just got it crooked. You know?
Yeah, you got the top on too far.
Yes.
Take the top back off.
Uh-huh. Yep. Uh-huh.
Just go ahead and take it off
Yeah.
whenever you're ready.
Yep. I'll get on that. Yep. Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Perfect. Washer on. The nut on. It's not straight.
Yeah. Well,
Alright. Perfect. We're just gonna get the impact and run those on. You're good.
uh-huh.
You wanna grab the impact there and I'll just run it on.
Is it this one or
It's
the one
that
we're
one.
using over there?
It's a 17.
Okay.
I'll do it for you. You don't like these. There we go. One done, one to go. So we're just gonna finish this one up and then we'll deal with the rest of it. All right, we got all of the suspension on. So what we have left is we gotta do the steering linkages, and we gotta hook up one brake line. And then I think this will be done. Oh, we got the drive shaft to do too. We gotta hook the drive shaft back up. Just a couple more things and this will be done and we'll actually be able to lower it to the ground. The rear suspension on this one is also broken. Well, not broken, but they cut the leaf springs on one side. So I'm gonna have to replace the rear on this too. Probably not gonna do that in this video, unfortunately, because it's just not gonna happen. I'm sure this video is getting extremely long by now. So we're just gonna get this front done and then we'll probably move over to the other one and get the new suspension on that one. So let's finish this one up first though. So now we just gotta do the steering linkage, which that rod right there we need, I think.
Whatever you say.
Well, that's the one we're gonna use.
Okay.
You know what? I think I need that for the other one though, because I took that off to save it. I need
A different one?
Why did I take that off?
How many do you have?
Probably 4. All right, so we went down to the hen house, and I did have one on the other parts one that's in there, but we decided to take the one off of the rusted out one really bad. The really rusted out one.
There you go.
It's hard to tell the difference between all of them because they're all kind of terrible, but anyway, we got one. We got it set in here. I did lubricate the ball joints, so they are moving now. They were a little tight before, but they'll be fine. So now we're gonna get these back in. They simply just go in here on this side, and the other one goes in there, and then the steering link goes right in that hole. So it's pretty simple, so let's get to it. So we got the other side done. It was very easy, just went right on.
Yep.
This side, just gotta turn it in so it matches this side. I assume it's turned. Yeah, it is. So shove it up in there, and then you put the nut on.
Okay, I do have some back here.
Yeah, there should be 2 over here.
Oh, there's 3.
That's weird. Okay.
We have an extra.
Yeah, well, I got a bunch of nuts and bolts lying everywhere. So that's probably good.
Okay.
And then we're going to use this to run it down. Yeah, hold it up in there. And then we got to line up the hole. Hole is like right there, so just a little bit more. Yeah, that'll work. And then this one will go in here, so we got to pull both of these back over. Line that one up.
Moved it too far.
Of course. That's what you do. Got those lined up, so then we'll just put a nut on that.
Okay.
And then we can tighten that up. Hopefully it won't spin on there. Wrong way.
Wrong way.
Alright. Steering is on.
Do you need some of these pins?
Cotter pins.
Yeah.
Yes, we will need 3 of them.
Some bobby pins.
Uh-huh.
Spill all your bobby pins.
Still all my bobby pins everywhere. This one's actually not lined up. My fault, I did this one, so.
That's right. I did the good one.
You want to try bending one with your fingers like that?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm sure I'll do really
that'll
well
work perfect.
at it.
Doesn't hurt at all.
Nah.
Alright, so all the steering is done. The suspension is mounted. We need to do the axle and the brake line. I think that's all we have left, and then we'll probably need some tires.
Maybe.
Might need some. So let's get the axle first, because that's actually not very difficult.
That thing there?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's those 4 bolts with nuts and washers and stuff.
Okay.
We need to lift it and align it, and there's like a centering in this. That little ring sits in the center of that hole.
It's in the center of the hole.
And then it's longer. It's like a rectangle bolt pattern too, so it'll only fit one direction.
Okay.
All right, so we got this front axle all done. The brake line is hooked up. Everything is done on here. We're not going to bleed the system because we need to replace the leaf springs on the back still because one of the sides is cut. So we are going to take the rear leaf springs off of this one and move over to this axle because we're going to put the new suspension on this one, and this is the one I'm obviously keeping. But to do that, we need to put the new leaf springs on the new front axle, which you can see right over here. I painted the night before I fractured my tailbone. So this thing looks brand spanking new, and it looks amazing, and I love it.
So shiny.
So shiny. So this is basically ready to go in, but we are going to find the leaf springs that go on the front axle. I assume there's a way to tell somehow. So we got all the shocks in here and the steering stabilizer. I'll move that. And then these steering arms I don't think actually go to this. I don't know what they're for, but they do not go to this. I don't know if he was gonna put them on there or what, but we need to figure out which one's going where. Does it say on there?
Leaf spring FA1 set.
Assembly.
Oh, here, front, rear. There's an F there and an R on these.
Okay, so these two are the fronts.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense because there's more leaves in it, because the front's heavier. So these two.
Oh yeah, here, it's on this.
Oh yeah,
F, and it's got an R back there.
Yeah, I assume you are correct. So we'll need these two springs over there, and then we will need, let's see, we'll need these pins. I don't think these are different front and rear. No, so yeah, these are the greasable pins too, which is really awesome. So we need these. This says front rear shackle, so it doesn't, right hand. Okay, so there is, you got a left hand and a right hand? Okay, so we'll need those two. And then these are for the back, and then we need the U-bolts for the front. Alright, so I looked up some instructions on how the suspension is supposed to work, the OME and EMU suspension. So the U-bolts are cut to length, so we'll just put them on there, and then once they're all on, we can cut them to whatever length we want. So that's fine. And then I also figured out what the arrow and what the little dash and the O mean. So the O is actually meaning that this leaf spring is perfectly to spec. So this one is perfect. The minus means that it's slightly under spec, but that's by design apparently. So the one that's perfectly to spec is supposed to go on the driver's side in the front, and the one that's slightly under spec is supposed to go on the passenger side to help with the lean. Apparently if they're both exactly the same, you might get a little bit of a lean on the driver's side. So this is how it's supposed to be. The ones on the back are both minuses, so apparently in the back it's not as big of a deal, but that is how this is supposed to be. And then the arrow is pointing to the spot where the pin goes. So the fixed joint is what this end is supposed to be. And then the shackle will go on the other end. So I was pretty much wrong. My wife actually guessed that the O goes on the driver's side just by pure luck.
Yeah.
So, all right, now that we know what we're actually doing, we're gonna get these put on. I'm going to lift this, hopefully.
Okay. And where you want this?
And slide this
here?
out to like right here.
Okay.
Should be fine.
Okay.
Hopefully. Good. And I think this is gonna want to fall here in the front, so
Okay.
we might want to put something under that, but let's just see what happens first.
Okay.
Ooh, that's what to do. Alright.
Good.
Looks like it's fine.
Okay.
So that's the driver's side.
Okay.
So this one will go over there, and then that will go in the back.
So that way?
Yep.
Okay.
It's gotta go underneath. Like that. So I'll just set it there.
Okay.
And I'll set the other one there too.
Uh-huh.
That'll go in the back. Oh, that one set up something.
Okay.
Alright. Now, where's the plate that goes on the bottom? We gotta find the plates that go on the bottom real quick. We'll be back. Alright, so I found the plates that go on the bottom of the leaf springs there. So these were just down in the parts one down there in the hen house. I got them painted up last night, so they look nice. And now we can actually get this put together. So let's get to it.
So we have to lift up the leaf springs.
Yep.
And the plate goes under it.
Yep, and I think it
And
goes
then
like...
the U-bolts go through those holes.
I think it goes this direction. Yep, goes that way.
Okay.
So this will go on the bottom, lift it up, put the U-bolts through, put this on the bottom, and then we put a washer and a nut on the bottom.
Okay.
Hold it on.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just do one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these are in the correct spot. These are back to the fix. This is front. Yeah, I think that's correct.
Okay.
So,
what is your plan for lifting and holding that up?
well, you're gonna lift one side, I'm gonna lift the other. And then we're gonna have a fourth hand.
Yes. It's just gonna magically float there.
So this little pin, there's a hole in the bottom of this plate it goes in.
I see that.
So, that. And then I'll lift this up and then I'll just, I don't know, I'll try to hold it. I don't know, we'll see. Or I could hold the plate and you can put the nut and washer on.
Okay.
Can you hold that up while you're doing the nut and washer?
I can sure try.
Okay. Well, let's try it and see how that works.
Okay. I'm not holding it.
This isn't working. All right, let's put it back down.
Okay.
Perfect plan.
If
Put your side down.
do you want me to try to hold this up and you do the plate?
Well, I think get that little red block of wood.
Okay.
Try this first. If we lift it all up, we can put this under there, and then it'll be high enough to where we can start these nuts and bolts, and then it'll be fine.
Okay.
So just lift it up, lift your side.
Okay.
I'll actually take these off. I'll slide this under here. And then, no, keep it up still. And then we can set this down, try to get it lined up on there. They're a little wide is the problem. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just hold it. Okay, it's kind of started. I guess I can get, try to get this side started and then maybe we'll be good. Okay, the board's in the way there.
Okay, I think the
Board's in the way there. Alright, the board's just in the way,
Here,
so
ready?
this is a terrible
Okay.
idea.
Try this, and I'll get that on there. And now
It's
you
in
work
there.
with the plate, and I'll hold this.
Alright, Miss Genius. Yeah, just get this board out of here. It's not stuck in there. Perfect. Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
Would have been fun trying to figure out how to do this by myself. Alright,
I would be curious.
let's get the other side on, and then you probably go let it down. See, I have trouble starting upside down too.
Not just me.
Not just you. Won't help that they're really long too, so got a lot of thread to make up for. A lot of bugging you.
Yeah. I can't slide with a fly on my leg.
I gotcha.
Thank you.
Alright, I think it's actually tight, so.
Okay.
I mean, it's not tight, but
Right.
it's not
It's
gonna
not
fall.
gonna fall down.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can let go. So maybe we'll just get the other one in the same spot, and then we can go by and cut them off. And then we can tighten them down. I don't know what the torque is supposed to be on these. Probably just gonna get the impact and a couple of times and it'll be good.
Okay.
So let's get the other one on. We got these on now. We need to cut all the bottom of the U-bolts off because they're way too long. So I think I'm just gonna get the reciprocating saw and cut them flush with the bottom of this here. That way it'll give a little bit of extra thread just in case for some reason these need to come back off. It won't be super hard to start them. And then we should be good to go from there. There we go. All done. Alright, so all those are cut off now, so now we just need to tighten them down. I don't know what spec they're supposed to be tightened to, unfortunately. What I found in the manual, it said 50 to 70 foot-pound. So I'm gonna go 70. Tighter's better, I say, so. And that was actually for the older model, so it wasn't for a brake disc model, but they're pretty much the same, so. We're gonna go 70 foot-pound. It's actually said to not tighten these until after it's mounted on the vehicle and on its weight of the vehicle and everything. So hopefully we don't regret doing this now. We may have to loosen it or something if stuff doesn't line up right. There is a good chance of that actually. I don't know why I'm doing this now that I think about it. We really probably should wait. Alright, so we got our pin for the back and our anti-inversion shackle for the front, which took me a while to figure out which way this is supposed to go on, so we'll get to that, but that'll go on the front. We're going to get the pin lubed up a little bit, and then before we put it through here, and then we'll get it put in here, and then once we have it in there, I'll probably grease them all up through the grease zerks that are on them. Yeah, put a little grease on the outside, and then maybe that'll help it slide in there better, but it doesn't help that it's not perfectly aligned on this side. Maybe I can get something to jack this side up a little. So, you know, me like tightening all these down. Yeah, don't do that because they don't line up at all. I should have known. I don't know why I did it. So we're going to loosen these U-bolts up real quick and then we'll get back to this. Alright, so we got this leaf spring loosened up now. You can see we move it back and forth a little bit. So hopefully that'll help getting this lined up. Just don't smash your fingers in there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get it underneath there and then just rotate it up.
Okay.
That's kind of my goal.
Okay.
So like to there, and then that back bushing is just we're getting it. It's going.
Okay.
Is it close or?
You're like 2/3 of the way up there. There you go.
Put the pin in there if you can get it in. It's gonna need to go up more.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna want to hammer this one, obviously, because there's a. Yeah, we shouldn't need to hammer it honestly either, but maybe if I let this down now, it'll line it up more.
Okay.
And then we can rotate this more. Or no, that's hidden. It's all the way at the bottom, isn't it? Yeah, okay. It's started, so it's not gonna fall. Let's take the jack out of here and move it to the other side. And get that one started. It's so tight in there. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be or what, but it doesn't seem right. I'm sure it's right, but it just...
You want me to pull it?
Yeah, as hard as you can. It's just crushing it. I mean, maybe we can... I don't know. So what I want you to do is take this and hold it in here like this to kind of guide it behind there.
Yep.
Just keep your hands clear.
Okay.
And hopefully it will go in. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
You need to come back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lift it for now.
Okay.
It's tight in there. Keep that in there.
Okay.
Because it'll help it slide.
Okay.
Is it going up more?
Yeah, you went up probably.
We really should have got back further and then went up.
Okay.
Because it's going to be really hard to actually push it.
Yeah.
Is it moving back at all?
A tiny bit.
So it needs to come down more? Well, put the pin in. Because the back actually, probably doesn't line up. But put the pin in as far as we can. Because at least it won't pop out of there then, you know? Is it going in?
I went in a little further and then I'm hitting something.
No, push it all the way in.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's there. It should go in.
Okay. Okay.
There we go. We got it.
Okay.
Put that lock washer and then on the back side so it can come out.
Okay.
Alright. Now we just gotta get the other one lined up. Keep pushing it while I'm wiggling it.
Okay.
It might just pop in there.
Okay.
Keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see where it's at.
Okay. I got it to move a little, but...
Yeah, it went too far. That's what I was thinking. When it moved, it actually would have went in. Push. No?
No.
Alright, let me see.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, got that bolt on the back.
Okay.
So the front ones, we gotta get the top bushings out and replace those. The bottom ones, or the ones in the leaf springs we already did. But we gotta get these out, so we're gonna work on that. There we go. They're stuck in there. Once you break them free, then they kind of just fall out. There we go. Now we're just gonna do the other side and then we'll get the shackles on. All right, so we're just gonna jack it up. And then you're gonna tell me once it's lined up, and I'll stop.
And then you'll stop.
All right, so we're getting this jacked up here.
Look at that.
Yep, slide it in.
And I have it the right way. All the things.
You push it in more? Or?
No, that's right.
Alright, why don't you hold the camera here?
Okay. Boom.
Like that. Get. There wasn't anything on the inside of this.
Nope.
Jack this up a little more. Excuse me. Can you jack it up a little more?
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. There we go. There we go. This back part, not really on all the way. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Man, it's so fancy.
Mm-hmm. All shiny.
Alright. Now let's do the other side.
Okay.
So it says you're supposed to have the wheels and tires on with like it on the ground before you're supposed to tighten all this stuff down. I don't know how much that matters honestly, but
Yeah.
I probably should. It's not very hard to throw the tires on real quick, so.
Okay, we got this one.
Alright. Is it pretty good or need to go up a little bit probably? Probably go up a little.
Well, look at how good I am.
Very good. Whoa! All the way in.
There
You gotta
we go.
pull this bottom one on more because it is kind of independent.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Wow. You got all the way on there.
Ooh.
Perfect.
You know what? I'm not on my rolly stool.
I know. See, that's what was hindering you.
That's the problem.
being comfortable.
Yes.
You can't be comfortable doing this stuff.
Yeah, there you go. No, this goes on this one.
Yeah,
Here
the back one's a little smaller.
Yep. That's the one I was trying for. I just wasn't actually looking at what I was doing.
Yeah, of course, yep. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, look, I got that one.
Good job. You're going the right way.
Yep, I did it.
I can see it perfect. I don't know what you're doing. You don't even have to hold it on there, you know.
I like to.
Okay.
It might fall.
Maybe. It might. You never know. Yeah, never know.
Oh, look how good I started that one.
First try. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. All right. So I think now we're going to get the front tires on there. There's obviously a lot more we need to do, but I want to get all the suspension stuff tightened up real quick. So we're going to get the tires on, lower it down to the ground, see how much lift we actually got to. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot the shocks.
Oh yeah, we need those.
We need to put the shocks on first. Let's do that real quick. All right, so we got the other side done, but I went through and chased the threads on all of these because sometimes they can get boogered up from when you're prying the old ones out. So I went through, chased the threads. There was only one right here that was a little messed up, so should be good now. Another thing that I found out is these grease zerks are loose when you get them, so you'll need to tighten those up. But I just took it out on the other side because we can rotate this and then use a rubber mallet to actually pound it on all the way. Like that. And that helps a lot with getting these screws in here. It doesn't help with that. Alright, that should be good. And then the other thing I did, these screws they give you for this, they have to be shorter because apparently the leaf spring on the back side is a little bit bigger around. And the old screws go through quite a ways and they would hit that leaf spring. But these are just almost too short. And with this lock washer on here, you can barely get the threads started in there. So I actually took these lock washers, put them in the vise and crushed them just a little bit. But they still have some spring to them, so they'll still work fine. But it was next to impossible to get them started without doing that. And now I'm able to just barely get them started, and then I can finish them down with this. But it's almost a must-do, or else you're not going to be able to get them started. I also don't like when they give you new hardware for these. They should use a 12 or a 14 millimeter like the stock one is. This was a 13 millimeter, or possibly a 1/2 inch, and that's annoying because now it's just a different size than the rest of all the nuts and bolts on here. Alright, so the suspension kit came with the OME Nitro Charged Sport shocks. Nice dust shield and everything. Pretty fancy. My favorite color of yellow, so that's great. As you know, that's not my favorite color. But yeah, so these will probably be very nice on here. So we need to get the bushings in, which my lovely assistant has. So hopefully we can just pop these in here. Like so. Just that easy. Yep. Just boom, done. Put it right in there. Just like that. Just push it. Just put it in there. Just
do it.
Just like that. Just perfect like that. Yep. Just as easy as that. All right, now let's see. Let's put the top on. So you just kind of fish that in there like so. Slide it on. And then you got your washer and your castle nut to put on the top, and then your cotter ring. Or cotter ring, cotter pin.
Your bobby pin.
Your bobby pin.
To put in there.
Gotta put the bobby pin on. The bottom should be fairly simple, honestly. We just gotta get this little band off of here, and then it's gonna start shooting out like that, and then as it comes down, you just shove it on there. Like so. Take that out. And then we gotta find our castle nut and washer for the bottom, which is probably somewhere.
There's a pile of them over there.
Yeah, yep, they're right here. And these pretty much just go on until they bottom out. That's how they work. We gotta go back a little bit on this one.
Line it up for your bobby pin.
Line it up for the bobby pin. Okay. Need a new bobby pin.
Good, we got a whole box of them.
A whole box of bobby pins. Alright, so put that in there. Did it not line up right? No, it's not quite. You can get the hole lined up. Try that. There we go. Bend that over by hand. There, that one's on. Tell you what, it looks weird having all these new parts and the nice like rusty frame and all the mud and everything on it.
Yeah.
But that's for a later project. Down the road, we're gonna have to take this all back apart and paint the frame, but...
And do it again!
Yeah. But this is a learning process, so now we know how to do it. The second time will be so much easier.
So much easier.
So we're gonna get the other shock on, and then we'll move to something else. All right, we got both the shocks on, so now we are going to get the drive shaft put on real quick. So my wife is getting the nuts and bolts ready, and we'll get that put on. All right, so while my wife is finishing up getting those bolts on the drive shaft, I was gonna put the steering link on here, get that all finished up. This is the one we're using on here. Which I'm probably gonna need to take this back apart eventually, and I might even replace these ends, but they're missing the boots and stuff, but we're just not gonna look at that right now. Just pretend that these are brand new and they look perfect.
And they're so shiny, just like all the other parts.
Yeah, just like brand new. This is really, I wasn't planning on doing any of this right now, but I wanted the front axle off of this for the other one that I'm gonna get rid of. So that's why we ended up doing all of this right now. So you guys are getting bonus footage that I wouldn't normally have right now. So yeah.
And that's why we'll have to take it all apart and do it again later.
Yep. Do it right the fourth time is
Yes.
my motto. New bobby pin in there. Everyone's gonna love that, I'm
I
sure.
love it so much.
Alright, let's get the other side done. Alright, this side. Really doesn't matter what one we do first, I suppose.
Before you said let's put that one in there first. So you can reach it with
Well,
the
let's do it. Yeah, I don't know if I was going to use the ratchet on this, but we're missing one of these. We need,
Again?
yeah, we need one more.
Jeez.
I'm pretty sure we don't have any more though.
That one, because that one we had left on here.
Yeah, we're just missing one, but I think I ruined too many of them.
Well, look at these ones. And pick the best of the worst ones.
No, they're all bad. These are all destroyed. Yeah, I'm not using any of those. They're garbage. Just throw them away.
Fine.
We gotta find a nut real quick. We'll be right back.
Okay, so we got a new castle nut, and then we're gonna put it on here. And by new, I mean we found one on one of the other FJs. That was fine. Okay, going the right way.
How's it doing?
Putting this on here.
Yeah, it's
think-
good. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Gotta make sure it doesn't spin back there, because then you just won't be doing anything, but it looks like it's fine.
So we can throw longer. You know.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so now you want to start trying to line it up.
Okay.
You know where the hole's at?
At the top there.
Okay, some more.
Say with a lot of confidence.
I can't even see. Oh yeah, just a little bit more. You're close. That's probably good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Good. Good enough for our bobby pin.
Yep.
That we just stick in there.
Yep. And you want the bigger side on the outside.
Oh.
So rotate it around.
Stuck my bobby pin in wrong.
And then you want to try to do it? Look at you.
Yeah.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah. It feels really good on the fingers.
You want me to, you got it?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't feel like cutting my finger.
Just bend it over, and you're good to go.
Okay.
And then we gotta do that one.
And then this one goes in here.
Yep.
also said with so much confidence.
You might need to push the knuckle over. There you go.
Yeah, knuckle. I knew what that was called. Yep.
Of course you did. Had no doubts. Oh, I know where the hole's at. You know where it's at?
Does it go forward and back?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Sure.
Maybe? I don't see it. Do you see it?
No.
Okay, let me look a little closer then. It's right here. It's lined up.
Oh, okay. I mean, I totally did it right.
Yep.
It's ready. And then the long side to the outside.
Yep. And just bend it up.
And then my assistant will bend it.
And we're done. Now,
Yeah,
you
wheels
need
and tires.
you need to put some wheels and tires on it.
Okay.
And then we will set down on the ground and tighten up all the suspension stuff.
Yes.
And we should be good.
Move some tools out of the way here.
Yeah, move some tools.
Yes.
We probably need to jack it up a little bit. It might be too low. All right, yeah, let's get the wheel over here and see if it lines up right. The wheel nuts are right next to it there on the floor. There was only 4 on this side for some reason, so
That's all you need.
not sure what happened there.
Not 6 holes for anything.
Got it?
Got it?
You and your stool.
I know. It's like I have a bad knee and can't be on it all the time.
It actually might line up right like that.
Okay.
You got it.
Yeah,
Nope, we gotta go up.
Up a little bit.
It definitely is a suspension left.
Okay. On.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. It's probably not on, because...
Well, you know.
Yeah, line up there. Now it's on.
Now it's on.
Start the lug nuts.
Okay.
And yeah, just put those on. It'll be fine.
Okay.
We're probably going to have to take them back off anyway, so... Because I got to do all the brake lines and stuff still.
Okay.
I don't have the brake line stuff to actually do that right now, so that's why we're not doing that. We are missing the hard line that goes across the axle right now, so I need to find one. I think I have one on one of the other axles that I'm going to steal, but for now we're just not going to hook them up because I want to be able to get the back. The whole point of getting both of these front axles done is so we can jack the back up and take the rear axles and swap those around too. So okay. That's the plan.
We're sort of started.
Sort of started? All right, here.
Sort of started. Yeah, I did a really good job, okay? I said sorta.
So she put them on backwards.
Hey!
The cone is supposed to go on the inside to center the wheel.
Well, you didn't tell me that.
I didn't. You are correct.
Well, let me turn them around then.
So she's going to turn them around. Sorry, it's very cute. But and you also... I mean, it's...
which 4 you wanted on?
Well, I would move this one to a different one. No, put that one back where it was.
Put this one back here.
The right way, though.
Uh-huh.
I'll put this one over here.
Okay.
So that it's more even, I guess you could say.
Sure.
Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry. You're doing great, though. This is a good learning experience for you.
The last time I had to change a tire, I couldn't get it off my car and I needed assistance from a passerby.
All right, other side.
Okay.
We're gonna spill these everywhere. I can just feel it. That's what happens whenever you leave those open. All right, you want to help getting it aligned? I might need to go up a little bit more on this side. No, actually, I think we're good. There you go.
I'll make sure I do them the wrong way.
Perfect. Do it the wrong way, take it back off, do it the right way. Got 6 on that one though.
Yeah.
We gotta jack this up and get the jack stands out. So, get that done. As soon as we get that one off there. I think that's it. Take that out now. let's see how high it's going to be. That doesn't look too bad, actually. That looks really good. That looks really good. So, I know we had a bit of a funny mess up. We were doing the video and I lowered it down and it was sitting up here. I'm like, man, that seems like way more than a 2-inch lift. And then my wife pointed out that I forgot to take the jack stands out. Because we had to jack it up to get the wheels on, and I just totally forgot the jack stands were there, and that's why I was sitting way up here. So this looks way better now. It doesn't look much higher than stock, honestly. And it'll also settle quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit, but it will settle some too. So.
And then this is the tire size you wanted on it.
Well, this is the tire size I wanted, but since we're doing a 2-inch lift, I actually might go with a 32-inch tire. Because they're actually more readily available than a 31 as well, I think. So that's probably what we're going to do. And I want to do a stock size or a stock rim. So we're not going to have the tire poking out way out here either. Same on the back. So the back is really going to be what determines what size tire we have on here, because I don't want to cut the stock fender well out. I like the stock fender look, and we're not going to put fender flares on there. I just don't like how that looks. So once we get the lift put on the back, we can actually see what size tire will fit on there. But I'm thinking a 32, because a lot of people run a 32 on stock suspension. So with a 2 to 2.5 inch lift, I think running a 32 will be fine. So even maybe a 33, which is actually what these tires are. These are a 33-inch tire over here. So what I'm actually going to do once we get the lift all done on this is I'm going to put these 33s on here and see how that looks, because that actually might look pretty good, and then I'll get kind of an estimate of what I want to do on this. So, but I'm really happy with how high this is. I wonder how squishy it is. Pretty tight, but that's how they are stock too. So I'm sure it's gonna ride stiff, but it's gonna ride like new now because it's all new. So with all the bushings and everything, that'll be really nice. So. Alright, well that is going to be it for this video. It's been kind of a roller coaster of a video, I'm sure. There's a lot of footage to go through, so it's gonna probably be a pretty long video. But a big thank you to my wife. She's amazing. I don't know if she knows it, but she probably does. But you have anything to say?
I don't know.
Alright, well thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.